Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who were well. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Barak Atam. So, yeah, but I see the brother GMS, that's a GLS, GMS Orlando and the Truth was showing these videos, and I just wanted to show this and then bring some precepts. It's on the Teens Republic, and it says BRICS swear to end the US dollar dominance in 2024 as 30 more countries are preparing to join. And yeah, the views went up. Brother's probably watching the video, and I was watching one video about economic. He's into economics, and he's basically saying, well, the elders have already gone into this. The dollar is in trouble pretty much, and the only way to get the dollar out of problems is to borrow. Now, it's like having a failing business, and the banks know you're failing, and then you go to the banks and say, okay, for me to get my business back right, I'm gonna have to borrow this money and put in a business. And the bank saying, we keep borrowing you money, and you keep coming back, not paying the money back. You're not even paying off the principal at this point, but you keep borrowing more money. At some point, the banks say, you're a loss. But because the US is so big, people still have faith in it. But eventually, they're gonna water down, their own currency. And you've seen inflation happen. The only reason why the American dollar keeps going because the world has so much faith in the dollar. But what this is actually doing is undermining the value of the dollar. So when people feel like there's like another dog in a fight, so to speak, they have no use for the US, because right now the only reason why people are even messing with the US because they feel like it's the only dog in a fight. Once there's another dog in a fight, people are gonna say, well, why do we need this woman? Why do we need this hoe? Because people already are fed up with the US, and they're fed up with the West, and they're fed up because people are just sighing and crying for the abomination, in Babylon. Let me play this video quick.
Advancing their mission to end the dominance of the US dollar. Following the expansion of the alliance to 10 nations in August 2023, these countries have ramped up their efforts to conduct trade in local currencies and are in the process of developing a BRICS currency aimed squarely at reducing the hegemony of the US dollar in global markets. At the forefront of this de-dollarization drive are Russia and China, two founding members of the BRICS group. They have entered into multiple agreements to facilitate trade using local currencies, bypassing the US dollar. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin highlighted the growing business ties between Russia and China, with bilateral trade reaching an impressive $200 billion ahead of schedule.
$200 billion. So this is how much business they're doing between themselves. Obviously it's counted in dollars, but they were making those deals in the ruby or the yen or whatever other currency they chose to use. This amount of business and transactions would probably be a trillion soon. This is all money that the US, is not going to tap into, because when you buy into the currency, you're basically, it's like if I own a business and you come to my business and you buy something from me, you're buying into my business. When people use dollars, they're buying into the business.
Ahead of schedule. This burgeoning alliance signifies a significant challenge to the US dollar, which has been on a 20-year decline, reflecting a shift in international sentiment against its global reserve currency status. The momentum for de-dollarization is gaining traction, with at least 16 new countries expressing interest in joining BRICS. This expanding alliance could further diminish the influence of the US dollar. Discussions throughout 2023 about a BRICS currency, combined with the overall efforts to move away from the dollar, are laying the groundwork for what could be a pivotal year in 2024 for global financial markets. On the other hand, with Russia in the chair for BRICS 2024, President Vladimir Putin has stated that around 30 countries are prepared to join the alliance, led by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Now, really, people's going on here because the brother was going into how the USA is the military side of the NWO. England is the financial aspect of it, and then you have Rome, which is the religious aspect. But these people got all this stuff going on, and this is what Esau's concerned with.
Short moment to discuss the NHS. Apologies, we'll do longer next week. But the Telegraph report that NHS patients are being asked to choose from 159 religions, 12 genders, you heard me right, and 10 sexual preferences before they attend hospital appointments. We know the NHS has logistical issues with staffing, but my goodness, there's a cultural problem too, isn't there?
Yes, there is a very big one, and it's part of what I've been saying. The NHS has lost its focus. Should be focusing on patient care, should be focusing on excellence and delivery, instead of which it's focusing on this woke nonsense, which reform will sweep away. Within the first 100 days of our being in Parliament, we'll sweep it away.
Indeed. And you won't believe this. I'd like to make you chuckle on a Sunday night. People navigating the health service website are being asked if they are a goddess, a Satanist, or a druid. Which of those three are you?
I'm very pleased to say I'm absolutely none of them. I'm a very boring Roman Catholic who would like the last rites be should I die in hospital, but I'll try and avoid the necessity.
Your last right is slavery. Now even that is going off because really and truly, you're not supposed to have women in positions of power. The Lord said, let me get that scripture quick. I don't even want to butcher it. Where is it? There it is. Man, it's been a while since I've been did the videos. It's a basic scripture. This is 1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Now, is a cold day in Edom when the women are being more reasonable than the men, and a lot of the times, as you see, we getting closer to the end. These Edomite women are actually they're more reasonable than the men because they're looking at the men like the men are weak because these guys have really bought into this nonsense, right? And a lot of the guys that actually can see the bull crap, Esau Edom's woman don't even really desire them, and the brothers had this video here, and I was watching this the other day. It says, losing your woman to the enemy is the first sign of your fall. Now you got Esau's woman going for Jake, and he's dealing with all this nonsense, and then you got bricks going on, and ultimately you can't fight a war on two fronts. This is Mark 3:32. I'm gonna start at 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Verily I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of man, and blasphemies wherewith soever they shall blaspheme. So yeah, the 28 is going to something else, but it's essentially what this is Esau is destroying his own society. He's bounding himself up, and we know ultimately is the elites doing this to pretty much destroy their own society so they can bring something else in. But the little Edomites at the bottom, they have a real problem with this. And even there's a carnal saying in the world where they say you can't fight a war on two fronts. So now you're dealing with all this woke nonsense, at home. You're dealing with feminism. You're dealing with the breakdown of the family. You're dealing with inflation. You're dealing with all of this stuff, and then you're dealing with the dollar. And then you got stuff like this going on, where Kim Jong Un tells North Korea to prepare for war, And you know Esau likes to butt his nose in. So once they start going over there, the US might want to help them out, and they're already fighting different battles on different fronts. They're already in Israel trying to fight them. They're in these other places, different places in the world, in the Middle East, fighting these different wars. So they're completely divided on every front. And this is Proverbs 14:1. Every wise man buildeth a house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. He that walketh in his uprightness fear the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. Now, you know, when you when you look into the word woman, this can be applicable to Esau, because every wise person, man or woman, will build up their house. The same with a woman. A woman will build up a house. She'll make sure her kids are well fed. They're wise. She's gonna nurture them. She's gonna eat good food. She's gonna breastfeed them so that she makes her children as strong as possible. But a foolish woman is gonna destroy it. So Esau, instead of building up his house, he's such a fool that he's essentially destroying his own house with inflation and these alphabet situations that's going on. So he pretty much, he's a burden on his own self. This is Proverbs 132. I'm gonna start at 29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, because we all know that's the beginning of wisdom. They would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. So the elders talk about, Esau breeding tekel when they open up, their little experiments or whatever. And the Lord said tekel, which means your society is at an end. The Lord told them they got the scriptures. They could have had a beautiful kingdom, but instead they chose to have people with purple hair running around with dildos. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And these people are not turning on the Lord. And in that time, the men of the Lord willing, the brothers, are part of that number, are gonna be quiet in heart. They're not gonna be panicking. Me and the brother saw two chicks on the bus the other day, and the lights went off, and these chicks just was like, "What's going on?" And a lot of people are gonna be in that spirit. Even when I go around, I go to the gym or I'll go from the workplace and I interact with people. A lot of these so-called men have like a very feminine spirit on them, and Lord willing, I get the strength given to me by the Lord. I'm gonna punch Esau in his mouth in that day, because I really want to get my issue. The last thing Esau wants to do is have brothers, like that, having power over them. Because I'm gonna meditate complete evil on these people. I'm gonna put you in a prison. I'm gonna feed you the worst cuts of the meat I wouldn't even feed to my dog. And when I feel like it, I'm gonna knock your teeth out. Same thing you was doing to Jake. And I'm gonna take great delight in it. Esau hates Jake for absolutely no reason, even though we know through the spirit is jealousy, but it's really for no reason at all. He hates Jake for no reason. But like Jake hate Esau for a reason. We hate you because you're wicked. Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. So you shall inherit nothing, air. And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. So Esau gonna be a servant to Jake. And even though Jake is gonna put hell on Esau, is gonna be done righteously, because you're not gonna work on the Sabbath. We're not gonna make you do abominable foods. We're not gonna have you guys out there sticking dildos up your asses and all of this wild kind of stuff. We're not gonna have you having sex with dogs and just demean you and all that kind of madness. But some Jakes might feel like just grabbing your kids and dashing them on the rocks, and that's what it is, because you done the same to Jake, and it's the Lord's pleasure to let me get that scripture. Let me not butcher it. Yeah, Second Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So the Lord's gonna love that. Yeah, I already did something else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, Lord willing, this is the last year that we're gonna be here, because this place is just a complete vexation of spirit. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Jemas who were well. Shalom to the elect. I hope this video was edifying. Shalom, barakatham.